Hi there, welcome to my channel where I take you on tours of unique homes and showcase stories of people living alternatively. Have you ever thought about traveling full-time once you've retired? Well, Doug and Mindy have made that a reality. They're about to show us how years of hard work have led to their dream tiny home on wheels, and show us just how much storage a small space can have, while proving that if you're dedicated enough, anything is possible. But before we jump right in and take a tour, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know every single time we publish a new episode.
Will you join me? Will you roll? Make this house our tiny home.
Hello everyone, I'm Doug.
I'm Mindy. This is Zorro,
Welcome to Nirvana Star.
where your dreams begin.
Before we started with the transit, we actually drove transit for a living. We did just about 30 years of driving transit up in the city of Toronto in Canada.
I started out with school buses when my kids were little. I could take them with me, and then eventually I moved back into Toronto, and when I saw that Toronto Transit was hiring, I put my name in because I'd always wanted to drive the bus. And then I went from that, I went into the subway trains, and everybody got talking about Doug. And so here we are, and now this is what we do.
From there, we retired 10 years ago, so we've been at this 10 years. You can find the buses on auction, and I do check auctions out a lot. That you can find them from between 4 and 6, 7,000. So this particular coach took us 9 months to build out. I was at it 16 hours a day, and I decided to just focus on it and build it out the entire winter. So that's what we did. When it comes to making it all work, we manage it, and we manage it based on a fixed income. So we make the best of what we have and enjoy what you have within and reconnect. No matter what the size is, as long as you respect that the individual that you're with always needs to have their space and their time.
We have everything and anything we could need in here. We are not lacking. I'm not saying I'm rich, I'm not. And like we've said, that everything we've worked for, we've blood, sweat, and tears, literally.
This is Nirvana Star. She's a 2009 MCI D4500, 450 horsepower with a 6-speed Allison transmission. She stands a little over 12 feet tall, so we got to watch the bridges when we're traveling. Her length is 45 feet. She weighs in at 45,000 pounds. The entire bus we've done ourselves. The yellow on it is yellow wrap. The blue is actually a home hardware rust paint I painted in a field. These are all luggage bays. From side to side, they're 8 feet across. And on my second bay, what I did was, you need to have tools. You need to be able to source out and do your own mechanical fixes on the side of the highway and the side of the road to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. I started with zero knowledge about mechanical skills. I was a driver in transit for 30 years, so the fact in the last 10 years that I've been able to fix my own bus, that builds a lot of confidence. What I like to do is I like to go in and help people. So people reach out to me for a little bit of help on their RV, a renovation they need done, and the right circumstances, I'll help them. Okay, so in the third and final bay, here is just a quick description is we carry 100 gallons of black and gray combined together and 100 gallons of clean water. So if you take a real close look, the symbol that's on the bus. When I was a child, I was rated worldwide as a chess player. As I got older, I began to teach scouting. So the idea of the compass is the adventures for which I've experienced and what I've gone through, and chess is being part of my life. Okay, so if we want to head around to the back. So the picture in the back is significant to us at home in Prince Edward Island. We live oceanfront on a river, so I took a 35 mil, took a picture of the backyard and with my Canon blew that up and had it sent out to be done, and we put it on the back of our bus. So the concept is we're going off into the sunset. So this is the Cummins ISM 11 liter, and the fans are huge. They take up the entire back. So the difference when it comes to putting having the engine in the front or the back, it's all about your noise levels, your comfort levels of what you're listening to. So with this diesel in the back, the engine in the back, it makes it so much more comfortable, and it is a pusher, so you're pushing up the hills as opposed to pulling up the hills. That makes a difference as well. We get between 8 and 12 miles per gallon depending on how fast you go. I run this at about 100 kilometers an hour or about 62 miles an hour. Set the cruise, because the cruise does work, and leave it take care of itself. Moving into the third luggage bay we call them. This is where we have a fill for our diesel heater. We have 2 diesel heaters in the bus. This bay here was where the air conditioning was with the bus, original stuff, but because of how expensive it is to maintain and bring it back up to speed, it's 40,000, 30,000 BTUs. It's not in our budget. Our bus is built on the idea of getting everything off of Craigslist or Kijiji and repurposing it and using it so it keeps our costs down, because now we're in retirement. We've been retired for 10 years, so keeping the bus build going, we had to do it as inexpensive as we could. So this is the outside unit for the mini split. It's 12,000 BTUs. That runs off the solar up top. If you look up top, there's 3,200 watts on the roof. We have 8 lithium batteries, which will show inside, but it allows the mini split. That will power the mini split and everything else, because for the most part, the bus is all electrical. You saw a couple propane tanks. A bus is built on redundancy. So we have 4 or 5 different things to do one objective, for example, heating the bus. We have 4 or 5 different means of heating the bus, so if something fails, we have something to back it up and keep us warm. Coming around the front of the bus, you can see the sign up front. So the sign was set for destination signs of places where the bus was going to go. I had the front display sent out to have 20 different signs made up, so I can change those signs based on my mood or where we're going. The bus has about 8 security cameras on it. So that was to protect the driver when it was a public transit bus, the entrance area, the driver itself, what was going on around the driver, and what was going on the road. So it's nice to be able to observe the road and keep an eye out for people that pull bonehead moves around the bus. So let's head inside and take a look at the interior. As you see, I can sit in Recaro. Recaro is one of the best seats for a bus conversion you can ever have. It's an air ride seat. So this is one of our last big projects we did in the bus. I tore all the wiring out, moved everything over to the left side. I've actually got a tablet and a backup camera, and the cool thing about the tablet is it actually gives me real-time information coming off the engine, which is great. Here's our emblem, as you can see, throughout the whole coach. As you come down, you can see everything that's been done in the bus is a first for the most part for us. We use full furniture, and we try to make it look and feel as much like home as we can. You have the black walnut purple heart with the inlays I tried to do. So you can see the overhead compartments. This was all part of the bus, so free is good. Free is important. So these line the entire bus, so I took so much out, repurposed them, and these were left in there, and then we just covered the doors up. These are swivel chairs that are in there. I just fastened them into the floor, and there's actually seat belts in them. You only have so much room to work with, 10 feet, about 12 feet by 8 feet. So keeping a couch, a chair, left conversations to be close and comfortable and to have that homey feel. So what we found was a couple of vintage pieces of furniture. This is actually a Martha Washington. It gives it a little bit of vintage feel and look to it, and it allows Mindy to store some of her sewing stuff. So the uniqueness about the table, and there's a purpose, the reason why we did it. It's an epoxy pour we did for the first time. This was a map that is distributed on Prince Edward Island, Canada, where we live.
Hey y'all, you actually found Mindy. This is me, I'm Mindy. This is where I create. Talking about creating, talk about a treat. Remember, my bus is all solar. I just baked the cookies. Literally, they've just come out of the oven. They've just finished cooking. And guess who baked it? The sun. I have everything electric in here. I have my toaster oven, rotisserie, the whole 9 yards. I also have my induction plate. I have a single induction plate and I have a double induction plate. When we were designing this kitchen, I had these panes of glass. Guy that built it for me. I don't have to fight with the doors when I'm opening the oven. And then all of my kitchen ones, they have a lock on them. All the drawers, they have a push button lock. And then I actually have got a small freezer. I didn't think it was going to fit in here, thought it's going to go in the basement, but we actually managed to fit it into my full pantry cupboard. And I still managed to hide everything away, and I still have a freezer. But then you're going to say, wow, Mindy, what do you need such a big counter for? Well, I have a really, really big cutting mat that I use because I quilt and I sew and I repair things and I teach. I actually teach people with the sewing that I do. It's not out there anymore. The kids aren't learning sewing. It's a lost art. I'm actually going to make a couple of baby quilts. These are for a couple friends. This one is a Singer 221 featherweight. It's an amazing thing to have. You want a machine to go with you while you're traveling, takes up no space? Grab one of these. Big, ginormous, king-size quilts are pieced together on this little tiny machine. You can see these emblems here. It was all stitched by myself, and all of these patches I embroidered to personalize the bus even more and making it ours.
So moving back, if we need privacy, the unique thing about our build is the pocket doors is quite cute. So we can separate the bathroom if we have company. As we move on to the bathroom, you can see there's a second epoxy pour with the sink built in, which is pretty nice. We have a full shower. The shower is a full tile layout. The tile's not cracked and it's maintained for the last 3 years. The grout isn't like a house, it's a flex grout that you can buy that gives it that flexibility to be able to flex and not crack and break. And that's actually Mindy's work. She did beautiful work that way and we're very happy with that. Mindy came up with a great idea about a bookshelf, so we incorporated that to keep the flow moving. The idea of the window was just to create light in the toilet area. We have a washing machine. So the wash machine uses a little more than I like. I would say it uses about 6 gallons of water per load, but Mindy takes that and doubles up her laundry, so she uses half. She'll take it out, rinse it, put the next load in, and she'll save it and get the biggest bang for our buck so that we're doing as many clothes as we can with a little as water used. So we have a full toilet drops right into the black tank, so we're not doing compost or anything like that. Been there, done that. All right, so we're gonna go into the bedroom now and we're gonna check the bedroom out. The furniture we have is full house furniture that we've picked up off of Craigslist or Kijiji, and we sanded it all down and repurposed it. The windows, you can see we leave our windows all open, but Mindy's done these curtains. Now the unusual part about these curtains is they're blackout and they're triple layered with insulation in them, so they all zipper together to keep the cold out and the heat out. But we can open the windows up and allow the air to flow. Down below, Zorro, our dog, has his own bed. So there's actually a built-in bed underneath the bed for him to sleep in. This is my favorite quilt. This is 4 years in the making, and this is all hand stitched. And Mindy's done me some shirts up, which is really nice. So sometimes when I'm driving, I'll put a shirt on, and that actually plays the part of being a driver. No matter what you feel your limitations are, we came forward with this at the beginning with zero knowledge other than driving a bus. Is it perfect? It's not perfect. Nope. But I'll tell you what.
It's ours.
It's ours, and the fact we did it, and we did it at our pace and what we felt we could do. If it's all about budget, it's doable by repurposing. Everything in this bus, for the most part, has been repurposed. So it's doable on a fixed budget and to be able to take your time and do it.
We have a sign on the back of our bus that says, hard work makes dreams come true. And I can tell you, nothing has been handed to us on a platter. We have worked blood, sweat, tears, broken bones, and everything. I actually say that Doug is the left to my right. Doug is left-handed, I'm right-handed, and together we accomplish much.
I love you, hon.
You do.
I do.
Thanks for watching this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you soon with another unique home tour.